collective report, and our colleagues helped me. Okay, our presentation.
Dear colleagues, we present to your attention a report on the topic of information analytical systems for scientific research, a case study of Ukraine in the digital era. There is also a growing interest in scientific research from government institutions, as the optimization of mechanisms for allocating state budget funds and accelerating Ukraine's transition to an innovative development model require the implementation of bibliometric and scientific analysis methods in management practices to analyze information flows. Information analytical systems are an integral component of scientific research, facilitating the effective execution of scientific tasks, stimulating innovation, and fostering the growth of scientific knowledge. The application of information analytical systems in scientific research contributes to accelerating the pace of scientific discoveries, ensuring broad access to scientific information, facilitating knowledge exchange, and promoting collaborative problem solving. The development of national information analytical systems for scientific purposes holds an extremely significant value and is a pertinent task in the modern world. Such systems are directed towards supporting scientific research, fostering the development of scientific community, and obtaining essential scientific outcomes. Let's point out a few aspects of emphasize the importance of developing national information analytical systems for scientific purposes. Firstly, the collection and aggregation of national data. National information analytical systems can provide centralized access to crucial national data such as scientific publication, statistic information, geographical distribution, socio-cultural data, and more. Secondly, support the national research. National information analytical system can become central hubs for conducting scientific research, bringing together data and resources from various sources. Thirdly, ensuring access to scientific information. The development of national information analytical systems contribute to dissemination of scientific information among researchers and the public. Firstly, fostering innovation. National innovation analytical systems can stimulate the development of innovative technologies and solutions based on scientific research. Fifthly, preserving national scientific heritage. National information analytical systems can serve as a digital archive where national scientific achievements are stored and organized. Sixthly, strengthening national identity. The development of national information analytical systems can contribute to the preservation and study of national cultural heritage, ethnographic data, and other nationally significant aspects. Therefore, national information analytical systems have a potential to become a significant tool for supporting scientific research, discovering new knowledge, and contributing to the national development of Ukraine. They promote the collaboration of researchers, provide access to scientific information, and contribute to the country's innovation growth. Thus, the development of domestic information analytical systems are the suitable for conducting scientific research and subsequent monitoring of their performance is one of the priority tasks that require resolution. Aim of the article to investigate the role of Ukrainian information and analytical systems in the digitalization of science and the organization support of research activities. Research tasks are define the concept of informational and analytical systems for scientific activity and their function. Analyze the role of information and analytical systems in conducting research. Describes the functionality of informational and analytical systems development in Ukraine for scientific activities and the organization support of research. Information analytical support of research. It is assistance and facilitation provided to the subject of scientific research in obtaining and analytically processing information and data related to the processes of planning, organizing, conducting, and implementing the results of pedagogical research through the use of information and communication technologies. To create information analytical support for scientific activities, it's important to address the following tasks. Formation of a database of information and data for conducting scientific activities. Systematization and preservation of key innovative developments. Identification of promising research direction. Evaluating the scientific research in accordance with social development. Monitoring the scientific output. Exchange of scientific information and data, including publication, dissemination, and utilization of scientific output, articles, monographs, manuals, etc. Participation in conference, webinars, forums, etc. Ensuring free access to information and data for conducting scientific research. The role of information analytical systems in the implementation of scientific research. Data collection. Enable gathering a large volume of data from various sources such as scientific journals, databases, conference, the internet, etc. Data analysis and processing. Provide researchers with tools for analyzing and processing data. This may include statistical analysis, identifying dependencies, data visualization, modeling, and other analytical methods. Collaboration and information exchange. Allow researchers to communicate, exchange information, and collaborate. They provide opportunities to discuss research, share findings, work on joint projects, provide feedback on colleagues' work, and more. Information retrieval and knowledge updating. Provide fast and efficient access to up-to-date information. These systems can be used to search for relevant research, articles, documents, or other materials related to their research topic. Modeling and simulation. Provide capabilities for modeling and simulating scientific processes or phenomena. They allow researchers to create virtual models, conduct experiments, analyze results, and make predictions. Decision support. Provide researchers with information and analytical tools to support the decision-making process. They help assess risk, make forecasts, conduct efficiency analysis, and evaluate options. At the national level in Ukraine, the provision of scientific and technical information is carried out by the State Scientific Organization Ukrainian Institute of Scientific and Technical Expertise and Information, USTE. Information Analytical Systems created at USTE. National Repository of Academic Text, NRAT. Automated System for Formation and Interstate Information Resources, ASFIMIR. Electronic Registration System for Open, Non-Secret Scientific Research and Development Works. Electronic Registration System for Open, Non-Classified, Protected Dissertation. Remote Registration System for Technologies and their Components. Information and Analytical System for monitoring the activities of scientific institutions in Ukraine. Automated Expertise System. Reference and Information System, Scientific Publication of Ukraine. National Repository of Academic Text, NRIT. Reference and Information System, Scientific Publication of Ukraine. Therefore, the aforementioned information analytical system performs the following key functions. Information gathering and processing. They provide access to the wide range of information sources, such as databases, scientific articles, reports, dissertation, and other sources. Data or research results analysis. They can analyze data and information, enable the identification of patterns and trends in scientific research. Dissemination of scientific information. They assist researchers in publication their research in relevant open access sources. Preparation of research projects. They help scientists develop research projects and plans, assisting in identifying relevant and important research topics and selecting methods and tools for their implementation. Researchers' search and identification facilitate finding the other researchers with similar research interests, which can stimulate collaboration, exchange of experience, and sharing their research results. Decision support provide researchers with necessary information and analyzes results, evaluate the effectiveness and performance of research, which contributes to the development of strategies and policies in scientific research and informed decision making of scientific matters. Research management assists researchers in organizing and managing their scientific research projects, including planning, coordination, and monitoring activities. Monitoring the utilization of research results facilitate estimated collection of quantitative data on the usage download of research results. Provision of technological audit for state scientific and scientific technical expertise. Creation of unified information space for organizing and conducting state scientific and scientific technical expertise to comprehensively support information and analytical needs to expertise entities, facilitating timely exchange of scientific and technical information among users from other countries, assistance in promoting development technologies and projects to the market. The system includes a number of local databases, access to which is possible only through requests submitted via the Internet. Data visualization can provide graphical representation of data and information, enabling researchers to analyze and understand large amounts of data quickly and effectively. Additionally, significant expertise of the usage and implementation of information analytical systems, both foreign and domestic, in scientific research is possessed by the staff of the Institute of Digitalization of Education of the NIAS of Ukraine. There is evidence by a list of research works conducted by the employees of the Institute. For example, we can mention several collaborative scientific research projects, the outcomes of which can be explored through the following. Information analytical support system for pedagogical research based on the electronic open access system. Methodology of using open electronic scientific and educational systems to develop information and research competence of researchers and science educators. Methodology of using cloud-oriented open science system in educational institutions. Design and technological support for the operation of the open internet platform Ukrainian Electronic Encyclopedia of Education. Methodology of using information and digital technologies for evaluating and effectiveness of pedagogical research. Therefore, as a result of conducted research, it has been determined that the role of information and analytical systems in scientific research is extremely important. They provide access to information, tools for data analysis and processing, facilitate collaboration and knowledge exchange, streamline information retrieval and updates, and support the decision-making process. The utilization of information and analytical systems in scientific research helps improve the efficiency and quality of research work. Scientists can quickly find the necessary information, conduct analysis and interpretation the data using powerful tools, communicate with colleagues, and exchange knowledge. The importance of developing national information analytical systems for scientific purposes encompasses the following aspects: the collection and aggregation of national data, support of national research, ensuring access to scientific information, fostering innovation, preserving national scientific heritage, and enhancing national identity. Users often experience social and psychological resistance to innovation, which can be attributed to the need for increasing level of digital and information analytical competence among scientific and academic staff. The information and analytical systems developed by USTE for conducting scientific research assist scientists in storing, organizing, and analyzing information on research outcomes conducted in Ukraine, thereby enhancing the effectiveness and productivity of scientific activities. To ensure effective information and analytical support for scientific research, it's crucial for scientists to possess the skills to utilize specialized information and analytical systems. Therefore, the authors of this article consistently initiate and conduct various scientific events and training sessions covering different aspects of using information and analytical systems for scientific purposes. Team of authors: Володимир Камишин, Анна Яцишин, Олексій Сухий, Олег Співін, Сергій Семеріков, Ірина Баланчук, Андрій Яцишин.
Colleagues, may you help me? Questions is interesting. Ну, з мого особистого досвіду, якщо порівнювати іноземні системи, то, наприклад, подібні системи, такі як зараз створюється система УРІС, є за кордоном, вони існують, де фактично об'єднують в собі функції і представлення матеріалів, наприклад, наукових установ, і можна подивитися і видання наукові періодичні, які видаються в установах, які там гранти виконувалися, які були досліджені. То, відповідно, в нас теж ці системи розвиваються, створюються, але цікавим є те, що і унікальним є те, що, наприклад, така система, як наш Національний репозиторій академічних текстів, він унікальний, цікавий, і маю надію, що він буде далі розвиватися і об'єднувати в собі електронні бібліотеки, і таким чином буде допомагати як авторам, звичайним читачам, так і науковцям, так і експертам і колегам, які присуджують там наукові гранти, різні премії, наукові вчені звання, оскільки за допомогою ресурсів, які представлені в нашій репозиторії, можна легко перевірити, чи реально цей ресурс є, чи правду людина написала в своїх документах. Перепрошую, що українською. Можливо, колеги мені допоможуть, в яких більше досвіду щодо розгортання таких систем.
Thank you for your presentation. There are no more questions on chat. I cannot see here. Well, Thank you, Anna Yatsishin.
Thank you.
My next report is on secondary education and artificial intelligence, challenges and prospects. The authors Maya Maryenko, Sergei Semerykov, and Oksana Markova. I, Maya Maryenko, represent the Institute for Digitalization of Education of the National Academy of Educational Science of Ukraine. A second, wait second. Так. You can see my presentation. Can you see?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Certain types of artificial intelligence and trending now. But before using artificial intelligence, it is necessary to clearly understand whether most users understand this term at all. A survey was conducted by the Sociological Services of the Razumkov Center on the order of ZN.UR about the attitude of users to artificial intelligence. The number of respondents is 2018 Ukrainians. Most Ukrainians do not know what artificial intelligence is and do not use it. We have a contradiction between the potential of use artificial intelligence services and the inadequacy of methods of their use in education. Therefore, literacy in the field of artificial intelligence need a more detailed study. On the slide, you can see some works of scientists on the subject of research. Analysis of recent studies, a review of the educational possibilities of ChatGPT was conducted by a team of scientists. You can see on the slide. Gart and Sharma try to analyze how artificial intelligence has affected the education of students with special needs. Scientists summarized and reflected on 16 studies of artificial intelligence literacy in early childhood education. I can add more about such works. Young's research provides an innovative pedagogical model for teaching artificial intelligence literacy in early childhood. Shishkina and Nosenko in the study considered the main promising digital technologies appropriate for use in the professional development of teachers, cloud computing, immersive technology, and technologies with elements of artificial intelligence. The aim of the study to investigate the main challenges that areas of the use of artificial intelligence in the secondary education of Ukraine and to formulate prospects for the future use to artificial intelligence in education. In most foreign publications, such a concept of as literacy in the field of artificial intelligence is found. For secondary education, scientists recommend paying attention to this. This literacy can be useful for students familiar with the concepts and technologies underlying artificial intelligence. Components of literacy in the field of artificial intelligence are you and understand artificial intelligence, use artificial intelligence, evaluate and create something new with the help of artificial intelligence, ethics of using artificial intelligence. Components of literacy in the field of artificial intelligence. Know and understand artificial intelligence, use artificial intelligence, evaluate and create something new with the help of artificial intelligence, ethics of using artificial intelligence. A significant body of research has shown that digital storytelling is an effective inquiry-based pedagogical approach for improve 21st century digital skills, including information, media, and technology literacy in disciplines such as STEAM, education, informatics, and health research. Digital storytelling is a good practice. The digital storytelling must be combined with the incremental steps of learning artificial intelligence. The idea is this to introduce students to what artificial intelligence is and how it works. In a previous study, the toolkit of the European Open Science Cloud, EOSC, was described and its structure was analyzed. To train teachers in the basics of using open science cloud services, a methodological learning systems was developed, aimed at educated teachers and facilitating their professional development, expanding access to free cloud services, increasing the level of ICT competence, and in a particular, the open science competence. The statistical analysis of data obtained from the experiment was verified using Fisher's test. It should be noted that artificial intelligence services are included in the European Open Science Cloud. These services can also be used in the educational process. You can see on the slide. Machine intelligence platform for research, deep training facility, fast cut cloud, flexible AI system term for camera trap images on the cloud, GPU grant program for scientific research projects and prospective startups and AI geospaces. In addition, the specified artificial intelligence services are at the same time cloud services of open science. This is related to the policy of creation and functions of USC. For example, consider the AI geospace services. AI geospaces is web services that uses artificial intelligence to return potential plant species for observation in a set area. The principle is to enter a precise geographical area, geocoordinates, and the system returns a list of plant species that are most likely to be observed in that area. I.e., geospaces can have many applications for biodiversity, conservation, citizen scientists, sustainable management of natural and urban areas, environmental education, ecotourism, etc. These artificial intelligence services can be used during biology lessons. The main principle of the work is that the student can choose a specific location on the world map and view the main types of plants represented in this area. In this way, interdisciplinary connections between biology and geography are followed. It is possible to study several topics. The basic principles of working with AI geospaces can be considered in computer science classes. That is, there is a combination of three school subjects, for example, computer scientists, geography, and biology. To illustrate the problem of using artificial intelligence in education of Ukraine, the author of the article performed one of the intermediate sections of the assertion stated the pedagogical experiment. The Department of Cloud-Based Education Informatization System often organization and conducted educational trainings, you can see on the slide, screenshots, and seminars for educators. After one of the master classes on increasing the level of open science competence, a survey of 36 educators was conducted regarding the use of artificial intelligence. Educators who are interested in implementation digital technologies in the educational process participated in the survey. It turned out that all respondents knew that artificial intelligence is. 33 respondents expressed interest in future training in the use of artificial intelligence, 91%. 92% of respondents have already used artificial intelligence services. It was established that educators often use artificial intelligence services. 53% of 36 respondents. At the same time, only 3 respondents answered that they do not use these services at all. A survey on the benefits of using artificial intelligence illustrates interesting results. It should be noted that all respondents positively evaluate the use of artificial intelligence. However, 28% respondents believe that it is necessary to have appropriate methods for this. Conclusions. A very large number of publications by Ukrainian scientists over the last year are devoted to publications by ChatGPT. Previous studies were primarily related to adaptive technology. The problem of using artificial intelligence is natural continuation of the problem of using augmented and virtual reality in education. In secondary education, according to international studies, artificial intelligence is often used in combination with digital storytelling. Digital storytelling stimulates thinking and encourages asking critical questions to conduct research and gain new knowledge. Helps in analyzing found resources and expanding one's knowledge through discussion and collaboration with others. Depends understanding and expands the scope of students' knowledge. Helps in researching information from many educational sources and illustrating the problem for various solutions based on existing experience. Improves student understanding of specific subject through inquiry-based learning. Analysis and assessments of the state of use of artificial intelligence system and services in the domestic educational space will be conducted after several series of surveys within the framework of round tables, seminars, and conferences. Literacy in the field of artificial intelligence needs additional research. It requires a detailed analysis of the foreign experience of using artificial intelligence and the adaptations of already existing methods to the modern development of Ukrainian secondary education. Thank you for attention. Do you have any questions? Please.
Yes, I have questions in chat.
Thank you. Thank you for the report. Have you analyzed the strategy for the development of artificial intelligence in Ukraine, which was introduced last year, and your impressions of here? No, we not analyzed this strategy because this is first stage, our research, because this is research is begin only last years. And this is I presentation only preparation stage, only first steps of the on these topics, which was introduced last year, but we read this strategy. Of course, thank you. And your impressions of Hyun, we not analyzed this strategy. Thank you for your question.
Thank you for your question. Answer. Sorry.
I have a question. What is your opinion? Will there be competition with ChatGPT in education?
Thank you for your question. My opinion by ChatGPT, yes, ChatGPT we take on the education, but we not have on that time methodology, and our our topics and purpose our research, future research, is the methodology. Take this artificial intelligence, for example, ChatGPT, and what we in education, what we have and realized on the secondary education, and what waves this using.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
And what do you think about artificial intelligence to deal with big data? Maybe there are such services in European Open Science Cloud, or no? What do you think?
Yes, big data and artificial intelligence is connected. This is first way, and on European Open Science Cloud is there are many services with connected big data and artificial intelligence, but I don't now examples because I not have list. But I research about connection big data, cloud services, cloud open science cloud services, and artificial intelligence. And this is three services is very connected, and we on the European Open Science Cloud many examples.
Many examples. What do you think? Is it possible to select such services due to the certain scientific domain? For example, I need to process the data on physics or in chemistry, on mathematics, and to search for appropriate service in a specific domain. What do you think?
I think that on the European Open Science Cloud, many services and you list, but I don't these services on the another platform. They are on the platform USC. And they no connected and no realized with our technicians, our computer or our device on USC.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you for your questions.
I have one question. Are you aware that the information provided by ChatGPT may sometimes be incorrect? For example, if you want to use the ChatGPT for generating programs, and in the first, second, third, or fourth iteration, they give incorrect results. The program which does not work, for example. Or in the other question, if you ask ChatGPT to write some text, and you ask the ChatGPT for the source of information, you can get incorrect answer. Publication which does not exist. Are you aware of it?
Thank you for your questions. We proposed that methodology, create methodology, what used true artificial intelligence on the education. And on this methodology, we describe about what formulated and what ways used this artificial intelligence, for example, ChatGPT. And if students, if pupils want and new and training about the false and false information and false they not this запыты and virus and they not false using purpose idea we created methodology, and we must knowledge pupils about what right using artificial intelligence.
And the result they would consider for themselves, yes?
Yes.
I see.
Okay, but artificial intelligence can create unreal world, which is false. And this is a big problem, for example, in the media, where most of communication between computers in the network is made by computers, computer. They talk and they create unreal world. It can be seen nowadays. Yeah.
Yes, I see.
And this has a great influence on human being, for example, because the network brain, which is a set of neurons which are connected, and the connections has their wages. If you dive in such information word, your brain can be modified, and this is a great problem nowadays.
Yes, I see.
Okay.
I see.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you for your questions. Thank you, discussion. And does anyone have any question? There are no any question, and I invite Artur Morozov.
Moroz without off.
Sorry. This presentation, application of neural networks for electronics tourists guide. And authors, Artur Moroz, Ілля Сологуб, Maria Tikhanova, Galina Kuricek, and Stefan Skripsky. Please.
I apologize for the question, but should I turn my camera on before the report? Okay, let's try to do this. Yes, can you see me?
Yes.
Great. Window entire screen. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, yes. Oh.
Great. Good day and thank you all. Today I would like to present my work, Application of Neural Networks for an Electronic Tourist Guide. Relevance is what entirely constitutes this direction. It is well known that at the beginning of 2023, an OpenAI trained model codenamed GPT 3.5 was released into the public domain. The availability of such a tool in the public domain marked a breakthrough in many fields. One website could act as a reviewer, developer, manager, a tourist guide with 10 years of experience, and a business director all at once. Essentially, we had access to a person who, from the very beginning of interaction with the user, may not always have understood or done exactly what is needed, but possesses comprehensive expertise in the absolute majority of fields. Furthermore, since GPT is not a system in the conventional sense of the word, it could, if you will, create and produce poems, compositions, write and improve algorithms. The existence of such system in public domain brought about the realization that the use of artificial intelligence is closer than it seemed, and we are on the verge of a new era. After some time, specifications for and actual API endpoints for using OpenAI's language model were released. This allowed the integration of language model into a system, bypassing the lengthy and extremely painstaking process of creating and training a proprietary neural network. This event opened up the possibility of new ways of solving problems that previously required many years and many hours of work. One such possibility will be explored in this paper. The aim of this study is to investigate the feasibility and benefits of using neural networks instead of traditional programmable logic in the context of an electronic tourist guide. The objectives of the study are following: analyzing existing tourist information query systems and identifying their limitation resulting from the use of hard-coded logic, examining the principles and fundamental algorithms of neural networks and their application in the context of tourist information query systems, developing and implementing a prototype or not, conducting a comparative analysis between the developed neural network-based prototype and traditional systems that rely on programmable logic, exploring the advantages and limitations of employing neural networks in tourist information query systems, and providing recommendations for further enhancement and expansion of these systems within the tourist industry. Advantages of neural networks over traditional programmable logic. Speed of system creation. Neural networks offer a notable advantage in terms of the speed of system development. They significantly reduce the time and resources required for creating a functional system. Neural networks have the ability to adapt to new data, which streamlines the development process by making it more efficient. Number of possible parameters combinations. Another advantage of neural networks is their capacity to handle a vast number of possible parameter combinations. Traditional logic programming relies on fixed rules, which limits the system's ability to respond to diverse inputs. In contrast, neural networks generate responses based on input data, allowing them to accommodate a much larger and more flexible set of parameters. Scalability and adaptation. Neural networks excel in scalability and adaptation. They can efficiently scale to handle increasing data volumes and adapt to new data or changing circumstances. This adaptability reduces the need for continual developer intervention, making neural network-based systems more robust and cost-effective in the long term. Neural networks for handling complex dependencies and unpredictable situations. Neural networks excel at learning and modeling complex non-linear dependencies within data. This ability enables them to understand and respond to intricate relationships within the input data, ultimately leading to improved system responses. In situations where traditional methods struggle to capture these complex dependencies, neural networks can provide more accurate, nuanced insights. Neural networks are well suited to handle unpredictable situations because of their adaptability and learning capabilities. Unlike rigid, rule-based systems, neural networks can adjust their behaviors and responses based on evolving or unexpected input data. This adaptability makes them valuable in applications where the input data may vary or contain unforeseen elements. Neural networks also can leverage their understanding of patterns and dependencies within data to make predictions about future users' behavior. This predictive capability is highly valuable for providing recommendations or decision support in various domains, such as electronic commerce, content recommendations, and personalized user experiences. By analyzing historical data, neural networks can offer insights that enhance user engagement and satisfaction. Neural networks, such as ChatGPT, excel in working with natural language. They demonstrate high level of proficiency in understanding and generating human-like text, making them valuable for tasks like chatbots, language translation, and content generation. Neural networks have the ability to continuously learn and improve with more data processing. As they encounter and analyze additional data, they can refine their models, leading to increased efficiency and accuracy over time. This adaptability is especially beneficial in dynamic environments where the data landscape evolves. But the limitation of neural networks is the dependence on training data. A notable limitation of neural networks is the dependence of training data. They are only as good as the data they have been trained on. When faced with novel or incomplete data that deviates significantly from the training set, neural networks may produce less accurate outputs, full stop. This necessitates periodic updates and retraining to maintain their relevance and performance. It is worth noting that similar constraints apply to traditional logic systems when incorporating new insights or data also require manual adjustments and updates to accommodate changes. This slide does not contain any information related to neural networks. However, TypeScript as a programmable language is one of the most suitable tools for testing and implementing neural networks approach. It is one of the most widely used and well-supported languages, offering advantages over JavaScript while maintaining compatibility with it. At the time of the creation of this scientific word, GPT 3.5 Turbo stood as the most advanced language model available in the market. This model boasts the highest number of parameters and a knowledge base over 100 gigabytes, which underlies its unique capabilities in working with textual data and text generation. It has the ability to generate responses in specific styles, generate code, exhibit conceptual adaptability, and even create entire texts, not just machine translations. The integration of the API for using GPT 3.5 language model is incredibly straightforward. Even without the use of special packages, the essence of interaction boils down to constructing and setting a post request with specific parameters and headers. These can be accomplished using the Axios package or even standard fetch tool. In the illustration on the right, we can see the process of configuration and the method of sending a request, creating a similar approach. Although the working with the OpenAPI is incredibly straightforward, it is much more advisable to use the official OpenAPI package, which simplifies the configuration and may even eliminate some parameters that would only make the configuration more complex to read. And now, we have finally reached the core of this scientific work, the analysis of using neural networks for response generation. Both an advantage and a disadvantage of advanced neural networks are that they offer a multiple of response options depending on the query. Therefore, for the correct and consistent use of language model, it is essential to clearly define the model's tasks and response formats. To do this, it is necessary to create what is known as a template message. An example of such message for searching countries based on specific parameters is presented in the top illustration on the left side of the slide. The parameters will be then added line by line after the task statement. The middle and the bottom illustration depicts the execution of the query and resulting query data. On the first illustration, we can see a query for a list of countries that are close to specific coordinates and have the temperature is above 50 degrees Celsius. As we can observe, among the presented countries, we have Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates. All these countries meet the criteria of the query. The query on the second illustration is identical to the first one, except that it uses a temperature range parameter, degrees Celsius, instead of condition of being above 50 degrees Celsius. The resulting countries also meet requirements for our query and are mainly from Europe, the Middle East, and some North African countries. On the third illustration, an additional criteria was added to the second query, which is that local currency in the country should be euro. As a result of the query, we can see that the countries from the second query that meet these additional criteria are mainly from Europe, while countries from Middle East, North Africa, as well as Ukraine have been excluded. The first illustration depicts a simplified query with only one criterion, which is temperature range between 20 and 15 degrees Celsius. Since the query does not include a criteria for obtaining countries near the current location, the list of results has significantly expanded to include countries from all over the world. On the second illustration, the introduction of an entirely new parameter, namely climate type, is illustrated. When introducing such a parameter into an existing system, it would require expanding the database with the new parameter and updating each value in the database, either by passing information from another source or manually adding the parameter to each record. It is worth noting that in typical scenario, when working with programmable logic, a programmer would likely to create a field not of Boolean type for just tropical climate, but a climate field where they would input specific text constants. This introduces another potential source of errors in the absence of strict typing. Using GPT allows for addition of new parameter in arbitrary order, creating a highly modifiable and adaptive system that does not require time-consuming modifications, refinements, and error correction. The image provided illustrates an example of it introducing a parameter that couldn't have been foreseen at the time of designing the system. In this case, it is range of years during which terrorist attacks occurred or did not occur. As we can see, the model responds appropriately to the introduction of such parameter and returns countries that genuinely meet these criteria. Such an approach, with a certain degree of refinement and the creation of general concepts, can indeed serve as a new method for interacting with the backend part of the system, which in our case is represented by ChatGPT API alongside with SOAP and REST. It demonstrates the flexibility and adaptability of neural networks-based system in responding for requirements and parameters. Despite the evident advantages highlighted in the previous examples, particularly the ability to execute queries with dynamic parameters, which annotatable systems with It is necessary to consider that the development of a specific neural network can be significant expenditure and labor-intensive process. Furthermore, employing open neural networks such as GPT 3.5 may be most prudent in situations where user queries do not require the processing of confidential or corporate information. Therefore, the decision to utilize neural networks should be well-founded, taking into account the specific requirements and constraints of the project, including factors such as data protection, budget, timeframes, and technical resources. It is important to note that within the context of a survey system of an electronic tourist guide for tourists, which typically operates with open and publicly available data that does not require specific measurements regarding confidentiality, the use of neural networks such as GPT 3.5 Turbo can prove to be extraordinarily productive. This allows for the efficient processing of user queries and promptly providing responses. Such an approach can significantly enhance the efficiency of the system, providing users with more relevant, substantial information within time intervals. Examining metrics such as accuracy and total query execution time may provide only a superficial understanding, such as the two compared approaches offer distinct advantages and disadvantages. Neural networks, for instance, may show lower nominance accuracy, and their command execution time is primarily determined by the request execution durations, typically ranging from 3 to 5 seconds. However, they offer a significantly faster implementation speed, approximately 3 to orders of magnitude swifter, and are not constrained by the limitations of typical standard service APIs. Therefore, the further development of this scientific work may include a creation of a full-fledged prototype of the system, allowing the evaluation and measurement of parameters such as development type, maintenance expenses, system performance, code base size, data accuracy, rationality of employing dynamic query parameters and their frequency of use, and integration with neural networks to enhance user experience. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you for your presentation. Very interesting. And I can see on the chat message, and there is a question. Thank you for the report. And who can use your materials and developments? Who are your results for? Are they students, teachers, developers, tourism workers, or the general public? Please.
I see. Thank you for your question. I create this. I'm not creating the system. I'm evaluating the approach. So it is like testing of new approach. Because of GPT released only this year, businesses only trying to create systems based on AI. So I'm testing new approach where I avoid using standard programmable logic. So it is not system, it is approach.
Thank you. And does anyone have any question? You can ask questions in chat or by raising your hand. Please. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you plan to improve an electronic tourist guide? And if so, by what parameters? This is first question. And second question, do you plan to implement an electronic tourism guide for widespread use? In which institutions? Please give specific examples.
Thank you for your question. I will answer the first question first. As I mentioned in the presentation, the next step of this scientific work is to create a system, maybe two systems with programmable logic and GPT-based system, and compare their behavior, their expenses, their creation time, and so on. And about who can use this system, I'm not creating. Anyone who pay for GPT API can use such approach. And I know that many businesses, many companies have already start to integrating even GPT API to match their business to parameters. In tourism, this system is very popular. As I mentioned, many tourist notations are created by professional guides, for example, museums and so on. And GPT is not a person. It can meet these criteria, meet the parameters, and give, for example, a guide from like a professional tourist guide, but for 50 cent, euro cent, also on. So,
Thank you for your answer. And so, any questions? Well, and there are no more questions. I invite you to speak on the topic, research of the influence of modern artificial intelligence tools on program code development. The authors, Ilya Sологub, Artur Moroz, Maria Тягунова, sorry,
Halina Krishek, and Stepan Skrupski. Thank you. From mouse. Again, screen share. Good day and thank you all. Today I would like to present you my work, the research of the influence of modern artificial intelligence tools on program code development. The objective of my research is to explore the capabilities that AI tools offer to computer system developers and to assess the impact they have on developments as a whole and how they enhance the efficiency of the development process as well. Main objects are to investigate the influence of artificial intelligence on development, how can they be employed, what functions can they execute, and to what degree can they seamlessly integrate it into the development process. And the second main objective is to recognize the opportunities for tool advancement and illustrate the potential advantages that can be gained from them. Additionally, I will offer a few apparently straightforward examples to elucidate which development processes we could potentially enhance. Let's start by discussing the development of AI. I believe that everyone has noticed how rapidly AI has been advancing lately and how it started to infiltrate various aspects of our lives. What's its general purposes, regardless of the field? The purposes are as follows. Automation of routine processes. Anything can be described as a sequence of sequential actions can be done by AI. Generating new ideas. AI can propose dozens of new ideas based on analysis in just few seconds, making the process of information search easier or suggesting new ideas that we might have overlooked. Analysis and consequently predicting errors, and creating automated systems. Related to the first point, some parts of the system can be completely automated. And the final one is the learning capabilities of artificial intelligence systems. In the field of software development for our computer systems, we have the following tools. Tab 9, code auto-completion tool that assists with code writing. Deep Code, an analyzer for detection potential errors in code. SonarCube, a tool for assessing code quality, identifying code duplication, complexity, and more. Copilot, a code writing assistant that plays the role of a second programmer, providing suggestions and code snippets. ChatGPT, a language model often capable of quickly answering questions. Offer AI, useful for automatically recording edits from clients, although it appears to be a newer technology. How is AI specifically beneficial in the field of software development? As mentioned, AI can process tasks with pure algorithms. In any development process, there are abstract and concrete tasks. Abstract tasks require human interpretation, decision-making, and searching for solutions adapted for specific problems. Tasks like architecture design, defining functionality, selecting tools, and estimating resource requirements, among others. Concrete tasks, on the other hand, are those that need to be executed as specified, writing code for function or classes, implementing a predefined algorithm, utilizing a chosen framework, resource computation, testing, and more. Therefore, we can understand that AI can attempt to streamline concrete tasks. Since the direct implementation of a project is a fundamental stage in development, even this process is significant in optimizing development as a whole. Consequently, companies can complete more projects, develop their projects faster, and researchers can create tests, models, scripts more quickly to accelerate their research. Moreover, we can start to create more complex projects than before because with AI, we can start to maintain projects with bigger and more complex code bases. We can concentrate more on tasks themselves rather than thinking about their implementation. For the discussion, I want to specifically use a combination of two tools, Copilot and GPT, and here is why. Copilot provides us with code auto-generation and auto-completion based on context. It can minimize the risk of errors, bugs, by removing the human factor, which is inattentiveness, and enhancing productivity. ChatGPT, on the other hand, offers ideas, rapid solutions for trivial tasks, error analysis, and good test generation. It complements Copilot by assisting in generating ideas and providing a quick solution for simpler tasks, enhancing error detection, and facilitating test generation. With these tools, we essentially cover the fundamental problems related to the specific implementation of a project. Copilot provides efficient and accurate code writing, while ChatGPT assists in brainstorming ideas, quick problem solving, error analysis, and test generation. Copilot is a tool that plays a role of an assistant in software development. It can suggest multiple code completions based on context, making it easier for developers to write code efficiently and effectively. In the provided images, you can see how Copilot works. It analyzes the context of your code and offers code completions that are relevant to your current task. All you need to do is accept the suggested code, and it will be inserted into your integrated development environment. Copilot's primary objective is to streamline the coding process, reduce the risk of errors, and ultimately improve the overall quality of code being developed. We conducted several tests in which we asked a few individuals, our fellow students, to participate and write a simpler mobile Android application, both with and without using Copilot. The task was discussed and outlined in advance to eliminate the project planning factor, allowing participants to focus solely on writing code. The results are shown in the figure. We divided project into three parts following the typical CLIA architecture: the domain layer, data, classes, and API endpoints, the logic layer, and the interface layer. We measured the time taken in minutes, and based on the tests, it is evident that Copilot significantly aids when it comes to models and logic. However, for the interface, it assists it's minimal because the interface is challenging to predict in advance and is most impossible to provide any context since the interface are typically unique in each project. This is a graphical representation of the percentage of code we write entirely ourselves versus the amount of code we accepted from AI. We measured these meaning lines of codes. The red color represents our code, while the blue color represents the code generated by AI. The situation is consistent. Models and repositories and logic can be written more quickly with AI assistance, while the interface is supplemented only with obvious parts: indentation, events handlers, field built-in, etc. ChatGPT is an AI tool, a language model trained on a vast database that can provide responses to our questions based on its training data. Due to its extensive training, we can easily use this tool to find solutions to trivial problems, address simple tasks based on acquired knowledge, suggest solutions, and more. Now let's get more specific task. In the first experiment, the task was to generate a code for a non-trivial project. Let's say there is a physics astronomy teacher who wants to demonstrate a simple model of Earth and the Moon in rotation to students. He knows this can be done on the web. Suppose he learned from the chat that there is a library called 3.js capable of accomplishing this and ask the chatbot to do it. The results visible in the figure. The chatbot successfully completed these tasks, and the teacher only need to provide textures, full stop. The result also indicate approximately how long the task would take without the use of AI, considering that the person is not familiar with the library. These once again demonstrate that AI allows us to focus on abstract tasks rather than specific details. There is no need to delve into the library documentation, search the internet for geometric formulas, and so on. Now we can accomplish a specific task and continue solving global project-related problems instead of non-abstract. The second experiment involves error analysis. Let's consider a small task. There is a maze, and we need to find all possible paths leading from one corner to an opposite corner. I wrote the code where I omitted one check and incorrectly implemented other check. The problem is not readily apparent from a syntax or analytical perspective, and it may require a lot of time to find a solution. But how can AI help this situation? As we can see, it immediately provides description of errors and even corrected code. However, it couldn't fit into the presentation. This again demonstrates that we can focus specifically on the task at hand. In this case, simple errors, we can ask AI to find and fix them, saving a lot of time. The third experiment is test generation. In these two images, we can see Dart code and the corresponding group of tests, excluding the case with an error to feed the test into the presentation. From this, we can see that the chatbot processes this task exceptionally well. Writing tests in general is the easiest task for AI since it has access to the entire concept of the task. Based on the current advancement of artificial intelligence, we can even venture to say that we're entering a new era. An era we can focus on solving global abstract tasks and worry less about specifying implementations, thereby tackling increasing complex problems. We can also examine specific benefits that companies and individuals' developments gain. For companies, we can achieve accelerated cycles as for companies, we can achieve accelerated development cycles as coding and project testing become faster, the ability to automate certain processes, the capability to manage more complex objects as AI enables faster learning for developers and analysis to intricate systems, reducing the risks of errors in vast code base. Those who will utilize artificial intelligence will be more competitively capable as they will learn faster and be able to tackle more complex tasks, potentially even integrating AI into certain solutions to offer novel ideas. And for individual developers, we have increased productivity and efficiency in work. Trivial and obvious tasks will be completed many times faster. The ability to focus on more creative and complex aspects of project, reduction in time and effort spent in repetitive tasks, leading to increased job satisfaction. This is linked to the first and the second points, as a routine work will take up less time, allowing for a decrease in the proportion of work time. Now, researchers can conduct studies more efficiently because they can concentrate on high-level tasks, delegating questions related to implementation, building test models and scenarios, testing and experimentation to artificial intelligence assistants. Thank you for your attention.
So thank you. Does anyone want to ask a question? Does anyone want to participate in the discussion of the report? Please, dear colleagues. No one. I ask question. In your opinion, what is better to use in the educational process, ChatGPT or Copilot? For example, for teaching students, give some examples.
If we are talking about education, I prefer using GPT, as Copilot is an assistant tool. It assists you writing something. So if you write something wrong, it may assist you in writing something wrong. Of course, it provides well-structured code. It provides no nested ifs, blocks, and so on. But if ChatGPT is your fellow friend student that accomplishes you some tasks, like pair programming, GPT can act as a teacher. It knows much more information. It knows more information, and in ChatGPT can describe, can tell you why did it choose to do this way and not the other way. So I prefer using GPT for studying.
Thank you. And second question, will future studies look at student learning using ChatGPT or Copilot?
Repeat, please.
Will future studies look at students learning using ChatGPT or Copilot? What you planned or not?
I suggest, I guess, this is finished work. Of course, there may be some more data or some may, no, for example, newer version of GPT, for example, of Copilot, but I'm not planning to continue this work continue developing this work. It is finished, I guess.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer. Does anyone to ask a question?
Yes. Please answer. What technologies do you use? Did you use on backend part of programming? Database, frameworks, and maybe others?
During testing or overall?
In development.
Mm-hmm. No, for example, for
front
this...
end and back end parts of programming, and on front end you use TypeScript, and on the back end part, what technologies did you use?
Mm-hmm. Personally, I use vast variety of languages. I use Vue framework. I use many JS and TS frameworks. On backend, I use PHP and PHP frameworks. As a database, I use MySQL or MariaDB databases. But in this scientific work, there were Android applications, Kotlin we have tested. We have also tested Dart program language. But I know that these tools, GPT and Copilot, works with all provided, with all possible programmable languages.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Will there be any more questions? Or I can see on the chat questions. Do government institutions see the need to limit the use of artificial intelligence in education? The first questions. And second questions, what is your opinion in this area?
The government institutions really see the need to limit the use of no, we are talking about GPT, so let's say GPT, because some students may want not to write some essay by themselves, but to ask GPT to do it for them. They also maybe want not to solve some tests and tasks on math problems or some logic tasks, but to ask GPT to provide a ready answer. And I consider this wrong. So pupils should not use these tools instead of learning. This is like additional teachers that can answer the question and not something that can accomplish your laziness.
Thank you for your answer. And will be any more questions, dear colleagues? No questions. Thank you for
I want
please.
I want to say many thanks for these two reports. Very interesting and successful for us.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to you for your words.
If not any questions, I thank you for your reports, presenters, relevant questions and discussion. I suggest taking a coffee break until 5 p.m. At 5 p.m. we will start the last session.
Thank you all.